Hello everyone, it's Stray Faye here with another episode of Variable Barricade. In the last episode, Hibari pretty much got up to speed on what we already know, what each little flashback did. So we learned more about Kazuya. He's the business CEO man that originally asked for Hibari's hand in marriage, because one of her relatives kind of messed up. So he was put forward as a marriage candidate, and in retaliation or in response, Takamune put Hibari in the house with the four guys to kind of protect her or buy some time against him. And then we had a little powwow get together. Hibari gave Tsumugi and Aramura the down low. Ichiya gave the three guys the down low. And now it looks like we're gonna have some battle plans. So, let's begin this next chapter. The suitors talk excitedly about Operation Anti-Kazuya, but Ichiya seems strangely morose. Oh, this is gonna be about, all about him getting over the insecurities, huh, isn't it? Let's play this event. He lives in the shadow of his much more talented brother. After I finished chatting with Tsumugi and Aramura, I went straight home. First, how am I supposed to speak with Ichiya? I visualized a few different ways our conversation could go, but none of them seemed right. The biggest issue is whether or not he's recovered from the other evening. I hope he has. I think we don't really have a firm grasp on his personality either. He's just opened up and showed him his Hibari his real self. And now this all happened. No, he hasn't. Knowing him, he definitely hasn't. No matter how hard I tried to talk to him about any of this, nothing would stick unless I first helped him get out of his own head. I hope he hasn't holed up in his room again. If he has, should I just barge in? At some point in time, my general impression of him had switched to Mr. Hollow-minded flirt over to Mr. Lack of self-worth. I pondered the timing of that shift while I walked up to the front door and opened it. Oh, okay, all of you guys. Aha, Hibari, welcome home. Hey, babe, we were waiting for you. Welcome home. My, you look awfully tired. all the guys are we gotta ramp things up. We can't lose to Kazuya. The three of them had obviously been waiting for me. I had to fight the temptation to turn and leave. This is unusual. The three of you don't usually greet me all at once. Did something happen? Yeah, we thought we'd make a battle plan together. Huh? I convinced them to let me get changed first, but when I came back down, they steered me into the living room. Stepping inside, I saw... Oh, Ichiya's still in his own head. Oh, Ichiya, I'm home? Hi. Welcome home. Sorry for putting you through all this fuss the moment you got back. No, it's okay. Drat. Things were painfully awkward between us, just like I'd feared. But apparently Taiga and the others didn't notice, or more likely, just didn't care. According to them, for today the living room had become a temporary war room. When I asked them what they meant, they said... Oh, you got the chibis. I've heard about this Kazuya fellow. Yep, so we figured we'd all put our heads together and come up with a way to throw a wrench in his plans. So... Okay, they're gonna protest. I hereby propose that we four suitors form a special coalition. The Babe Protection Squad. Yeah, the Babe. Yeah, down with the loveless marriages. I don't think that a stone-cold jerk like him could ever make Hibari truly happy. I too would like to shoo away this bothersome fly. I'll happily cooperate. Klaus. Like, are they safety first? They have their protective helmets. Although Shion doesn't have one, he's like, that would ruin my hair. Do they have to be so extra about it? I appreciated their concern, but are they gonna like stand outside Kazuya's business and just be like protesting him? They're only making it harder for me to tell them I've decided to meet with Kazu. In fact, I think they'd get downright testy if I tried. Perhaps it would be best if I simply smiled and nodded along with them for now. Shoo 'em away, How exactly do you propose to do that? Glad you asked, babe. Since he uses dirty tactics to get this far, who says we have to play fair in turn? We'll just use a few mean tricks of our own. All is fair in love and war, eh? Think about it. He's a handsome grown man, and he's Ichia's twin to boot. You just know he's got a few skeletons rattling in his closet when it comes to women-related issues. And you're suggesting we attempt to dig one of those skeletons up and hold it over his head as blackmail? What? Hell no. Blackmail's a crime, dummy. We'll just spread word of it all over the internet. Isn't that slander? That will damage the Shizaki reputation, and you'll be branded a budding scandal and unworthy of being a Tojo suitor. Well, not a bad plan, huh? Yeah, that's a great one, Taiga. You're really smart. So instead of blackmail, you're suggesting slander? That's even worse. He'll definitely sue us over that. Oh, come on. As long as nobody finds out, we'll be golden. Yeah, just get some anonymous accounts and just play along like trolls or something. How come he's thinking like a criminal? I mean, I guess that's like the tools that Taiga has at his disposal. Doesn't really have like a family backing. He's just gonna claw whatever he can. This meeting had just started, and I already had to find some way to rein them in. I opened my mouth, but don't bother. It won't work. Huh? A low, leaden voice echoed through the room, a stark contrast to Taiga and Nayata's cheerily bloodthirsty tones. I turned to the speaker. Ichiya? He spent most of the meeting staring at his shoes, but now he looked over at Taiga, his eyes nearly drained of life. Won't work? What do you mean it won't work, Ichiya? He doesn't have any skeletons. Huh? Kazuya doesn't have any hidden scandals with women. He's been a workaholic since he was a kid. Even on the off chance he did have some kind of trouble, he would have scrubbed any evidence of it clean long before he requested to be your suitor. Losing steam here. I would expect that to be the case, yes. Oof, okay. Yeah, that's an issue. But we can fix it in a pretty simple way. If he doesn't have any scandals, we'll just invent a few stories. Yeah, that's slander. Kazuya isn't that easy to corral. Try it and he'll find out you're behind it. Then he'll put you away. Perhaps we could have another company steal one of the Shinzaki Group's projects and spark a big loss. You just find a way to bring that other company into the project and wind up profiting even more. How about we find out where he lives and blow it to smithereens? I think that would work. Alright, Nayata choosing the violent option. That might just be straight up murder. Gah, come on, bro. Whose side are you on here? His or ours? I mean, trying to be the voice of reason here. Shion had like probably the best plan. Like, less likely to get put in jail for it. Just two businesses competing. I'm just telling you the truth. Though, Nayata, maybe you should drop your idea and never mention it to anyone, ever. Personally, I have to wonder why all of their ideas so far had been bordering on criminal offenses. Oh, come on, not Shion. You didn't, like, suggest, like, they steal their ideas or something. Just, like, we just have another company get to it first. I don't think Ichi has any, like, info that we can use right then. Oh, hi. Everyone, what are you doing together at this hour? To be honest, I haven't the faintest clue. I wasn't sorry when Kasuga arrived to put a damper on the big meeting full of questionable ideas. By the by, have you finally finished that phone call? Someone called shortly after we got home, and you've been on the line with them ever since. Yes, about that call. For some reason, Kasuga glanced over at Ichiya before looking back at me. The date of your meeting with Mr. Kazuya Shinzaki has been scheduled. Uh-oh. Gonna cause a riot with the guys. Could his timing be any worse? I suddenly felt 4 pairs of eyes bore into my face. I sighed. I see. What? Wait, just 1 minute. A meeting? Between you and Kazuya? Is this for real, Hibari? I apologize for not mentioning it earlier. I feel like I need to learn more about Kazu before I can make any decisions. Uh-huh. So that's why you're less than enthusiastic about our suggestions. Yeah, I guess it probably is a smart idea to get to know the enemy before trying to make any plans to fight him. Good point. Especially since the only person here who knows him real good is Ichiya, and he totally refuses to open his mouth. Yikes, goodness, Nayata. Yes, it's true, but you shouldn't say it. Nayata? You didn't have to put it that way. I'm sure Ichiya has his reasons. I cleared my throat, then steered the topic back on track. Anyway, Kasuga, you say the meeting's been scheduled? When and where is it? This Saturday at 2 p.m. It'll be held here, in this house. What? Here? Not at the estate. All the guys are gonna be frothing at the mouth. I'd expected him to choose a more typical location for these kinds of meetings, like a restaurant or an inn. But while I blinked in surprise, the others smiled like hungry jackals. He's walking right into enemy territory. Interesting. Now this is more like it. The guy's got guts, I'll give him that. Okay, guys, if we're gonna protect Hibari, let's all get together and rush him. No, we're not rushing anybody. Down, boy. Nayata, I should hope you know this, but you are forbidden from bodily tackling the man, understood? Aw, can't I? Bro, quit pretending you don't get it. Don't you dare try anything that will leave the foyer in a sea of blood, you got me? I know. The surprise Naito only has debt on his record, not like assault. I wish I could tell all of them that I'd rather they went somewhere else that day. But no, all of them seemed intent on confronting him. Though I suppose there was just a little something reassuring about that. Just a little. No matter how competent Kazu was rumored to be, I had to doubt he had much experience dealing with people as, well, unique and strong-willed as 3-3. Gonna throw him to the wolves. I wanted to be in as strong a position as possible to keep Kazu from controlling the entire conversation. Which leaves one problem. I have to go. I need to get dinner ready. Ichiya mumbled only that, then slunk off to the kitchen. Unlike Taiga and the others, he made no indication that he wanted to confront Kazu. Not even one. Something must have happened between the two of them after I left. At least it seemed like Ichiya wasn't so badly hurt that he was at risk of shutting himself in his room again, but it was plain to see he was depressed. I'd love to give him space until he's recovered, but I'm afraid we don't have the luxury of time. I want to know what he feels about all this too. It was probably better to do that sooner rather than later. I got up and followed him to the kitchen. Ichiya? No. I was sure he knew exactly what I wanted to talk to him about. It wasn't much of a mystery. It seemed like he'd given up on the idea of running away too. He simply turned to me, resignation clear on his face. What happened between you and Kazu after I left that night? Can I ask you that much? Nothing much. He just went over things that you already know. He told me that he intends to be your fiancé someday, that's all. Basically, it was a declaration of war aimed straight at me. That was pretty much what I had expected, yes. But I was less concerned about the literal topics they discussed and more concerned about... And what did you say to him? I tried to protest, of course. But I was never strong enough to stop him. Especially when he's dead set on something. And to him, marrying you is the best business deal he could ever make. It's not a bad deal for the Tojo family either, right? Well, no. Something seems off. He seems totally emotionless and detached. He's talking about this like it's someone else's problem. Right? He doesn't want to get hurt. So he's gonna detach himself from it. If he gets too involved, holds too tightly, and only to see it go, only to see him lose it and have Hibari go away, it's gonna hurt him even more. I looked at him curiously. He looked back at me, but his eyes were empty. He told me about you too. So, you've met him a handful of times already? Yes. When I was unaware of who he was, I talked to him about you and the others. I asked for his advice on several matters. Romantic advice, huh? I figured if there was one thing I'd be better at him, it'd be dispensing that sort of thing. Oh well. That was a less an indictment of my carelessness and more of a jab at himself. Say, Hibari, can I ask you something? When you met with Kazuya, talk to him. What did you think of him? Well, I was sure he didn't mean my impressions of him from just the other night. He wanted to know what I thought of Kazu, the man I went to for advice. After giving it some thought, I said, he seemed mature. Level up the club. He seemed mature. Things that someone like me, an inexperienced minor, might brush off as insignificant or uninteresting don't escape his notice. And he's wise enough to teach me not to dismiss those things either. Like, you could have just said he's observant too. That's an apt description of him as well. I'm not surprised. He's more than just book smart. He knows how to read people. He's good at getting them to do what he wants. It's like he was just, I don't know, born to be the leader of men, unlike me. Hard to believe we're identical twins, right? Even I can't believe it sometimes. Ichiya tried a wry, self-deprecating smile. Why do you have to put it that way? For some reason, I felt irritation boil up inside of me. The tone you're making makes it sound like you want me to choose Kazuya over you. That's not my intention, really. Like I said before, I'm just telling the truth. It's just fact that he's far, far better than me at everything, really. You can't say that for certain. Oh? Hasn't he already proved it? And I don't mean how smart he is. I mean he's proved it through the relationship he's already built up with you. What? It took me so long just to figure out how to talk to you like a normal human being. But after only a few hours, he had you trusting him so much that you looked to him for advice. I hate to admit it, but yeah, he's just that good. Well, I couldn't deny it. Back then, I didn't feel comfortable around Ichiya or the other three. Just getting through each day was a trial that invariably left me with a headache. Kazuya was gentle, sweet, and considerate. It was no wonder I opened up to him more quickly than Ichiya. Not that I had any way of knowing who he truly was at the time, but that I depended on him to any degree was apparently causing Ichiya some emotional pain. Kazuya has always been that way. Even as kids, he'd make friends so fast. It never took long before the entire class trusted him. He has so much more charisma than I do. A more magnetic personality. You don't have to keep putting yourself down like this. It's the truth. No point in trying to dress it up. His brother was better than him. He kept insisting as much over and over. Almost as if he was surrendering as a way to excise his own feelings. He didn't stop there. Anyway, about all this. I know what Taiga and the others said. But personally, I don't think it's out of the question. I blinked, unsure how to react to his sudden statement. What? Did he just say what I thought? Not out of the question? What does he mean by that? Well, I knew. I just didn't want to acknowledge it. Ichiya kept going, his voice thin and listless. Just like everyone says, the Tojo family stands to profit greatly by partnering with the Shinzaki group. And not only that. In terms of out-and-out quality, Kazuya is just a way more capable groom for you than I am. Oh no, is he gonna, push her into the arms of another man? Come on, dude. The emotions that suddenly flared up inside me reminded me of how I felt after another discussion with Ichiya. It was exasperation mixed with annoyance. It resembled how I felt when he was desperately trying to avoid me after he'd stolen my first kiss. And it got worse when he refused to apologize to me for what he's done. So, you don't mind then? Anger burned hot inside me, but my expression was as cold as ice. You're fine with me choosing Kazu? Would you be okay with that? My chilly words made Ichiya deflate even further. No, you're gonna push her into the arms of another man. He looked away from me entirely, as he mumbled almost inaudibly. Who you pick as your fiancé is your business. Of all the things he could have said in the moment. Why? I kept the faith. I thought that, when push came to shove, he would have it in him to say, I won't let anyone else have you. Apparently, I was the only one who had confidence in him. I said nothing. I simply turned and walked out of the kitchen. I didn't even feel like being mad anymore. I couldn't bring myself to care about the emotions he was feeling when he said those words. Was that all it was to him? Were his feelings for me that... Right then. In my heart, I felt something slip. Like a bridge between us falling apart. Tumbling down into the void. No, okay. This is a lot of this is probably going to be Ichiya just grappling with his own confidence issues. It's probably what he did with the other girls, too. When they said they were going to leave him. He probably didn't put, much of a fight. And that's kind of like a trope, too. I said I was going to leave you, but then, you didn't even care or, fight for me to stay. Sometimes, I guess the women want, reassurance that you still find them desirable. Not that you would just, let them go at a drop of a hat. Alright, let's do the next chapter. The fifth suitor. Kazuya comes for a visit. The others intend to drive him out, but Kazuya is a slick talker. He like talks circles around all of them. Alright, let's play this event. Time passed after that definitive split between Ichi and myself. We'd barely spoken more than a handful of words to each other by the time of the day of the meeting arrived. Also, I kind of need to blow my nose. Hurry up, guys. He's gonna be here any minute. Nayata, your collar is crooked. No one will take you seriously if you look like a half-witted peasant. Like, your collar's super crooked. Your collar's super loose. Oops, thanks. You guys are all wearing your casual clothes. I thought you'd be in, like, your suits or something. There, that's better. Like, you're wearing a very loose hoodie. Now I just have to hide this... Wait, this Sasumata under the couch just in case things go bad. What the heck is this? Wait, what's a Sasumata? Not like a weapon, is it? Good. Make sure you can pull it out at a moment's notice. A Sasumata? If I remember my history correctly, it was a fork-like polearm that was used to constrain criminals in feudal Japan. Oh, okay. I want to say I've seen, like, something that's similar to that. And, like, photos of, like, Japanese schools. Maybe, like, the more rural schools. You're, like, horror stories of, like, some crazy person coming onto campus. And, like, they use the fork-like polearm to try to, like, get a little distance. It's kind of like a rabies pole, but for people. It didn't seem like they were applying bloodshed, but they definitely seemed to be intent on driving Kazu out. I don't think he needs that. He's not some rabid criminal here. For the sake of my sanity, I have to believe they won't look for an excuse to use that ridiculous thing. I quietly sighed. At the same time, Taiga heaved a sigh of his own that was even more exasperated than mine. Ichiya, bro! Your sad eyes remind me of a kitten in the rain. Smarten up, seriously. Approach this like you're gonna throw hands with the guy as soon as he steps in the door, got it? Yeah, sure. Ugh, thanks for the totally gutless answer. Ichiya sat on the couch, pale as plaster. He stared into space, his eyes blank. He lost his will to fight before the battle began. Seriously, what is wrong with him? I knew I'd annoyed myself by looking at him, so I deliberately looked somewhere else. Right then. Oh, bing bong. He's here. The doorbell rang. I looked at my watch, and it just ticked over to 2 p.m. on the dot. Well, it seems he's here. Let's all try to stay relaxed, all right? Yes. I took a deep breath. It sounded more like a gulp. After a moment, I started walking to the foyer to greet Kazu. Is he gonna live in the house with us? Probably not. Welcome, Mr. Shinzaki. By the time I arrived at the door, Kazuya had already opened it. Kazu just stood beyond. Huh? I had to pause for a moment. He waved at me cheerily. Oh. Hi there. Thanks for letting me come over. Okay. He's like in this little jumpsuit. I don't know if that's a jumpsuit or a two-piece. It's just all like the same color. I thought you were gonna be like in a suit too. Aren't marriage interviews supposed to be like a little bit more formal? I'm glad to see you're doing well, Hibari. I'm really looking forward to our meeting today. Hello? He was dressed in casual street clothes, just like the Kazu I thought I knew. I mean, everyone else I guess is casual. Everyone... The business it's business casual today. I thought you'd come wearing a formal suit. I don't come to this area too often. It looks like a pleasant place to live. Oh, right, here. I brought you a hostess gift. Why don't you share it with everyone? He held out a box of decorated with tasteful wrapping that clearly wasn't cheap. I recognized the name of the shop on the seal. It was a well-known sweet shop. I had their sweets a time or two myself. I remember their flan being particularly delicious. Oh, I'm gonna get points with Taiga. As I was thinking that, I suddenly heard. Okay, he instantly scored points with Nayata instead. Oh, yay, sweets. Thanks a bunch. Alright, he already bought off the dog. Nayata came zooming into the foyer with his usual animal energy, nabbing the box before even Kazuya could. Wow, he nearly made a sonic boom. He had reacted to the word food, even from as far as the living room. If he did, he must have great hearing. Not unusual for a golden retriever. Like the keywords, like when you say like a treat or something, or walk, or it's food time, and they're just like, oh my god. Yo, Nayata, why are you greeting the guy like a long-lost pal? Oh! Hey, no fair trying to bribe me, but it didn't work, so ha! I'm too smart to fall for an obvious ploy like that. It already worked. Bribe. Kazuya's like, oh right, this is like the idiots I have to deal with. Please pay no mind, Mr. Shinzaki. Everyone has been awaiting your visit with a little trepidation. I suppose it's no wonder he's confused. I'm sure he honestly brought the sweets to be polite. Fortunately, it looked like Nayata's weirdness hadn't creeped him out too badly. Maybe we'll weird him out so bad he's not gonna want to be involved with us anymore. Do you, mind if I come in? My apologies. Please do. I shall put on a pot of fresh tea. Please feel free to join everyone in the living room. God, it's just like saying Kazuya and then Kazuya. I'm gonna get their voices all mixed up. Alright, sounds good. Hibari, can you show me to the living room, please? Of course. I watched him out of the corner of my eye as we walked to the living room, myself half a step ahead. Hey, Taiga. He looks kind of different than I expected. I was totally expecting somebody who looked mean and cranky. I mean, it's just Ichiya, but with straight hair. He's not that's for sure. It's no wonder the babe opened up to him so easily. This is gonna be harder than I thought. Neither of them seemed to care. We were within earshot. We took seats in the living room, and then sat looking at each other in awkward, heavy silence. This is so weird. It was as if we were in a standoff waiting for someone else to make the first move. Finally, Kazu broke the ice in a smooth, swift motion. Well then, how about we start with some introductions? This is the first time I've met the three of you after all. So hello. I'm Kazuya Shinzaki, Ichiya's twin brother. Hi, Taiga Itsurugi. Nayata Yagami was the one who dove on your box of sweets like a starving man. And that's Shion Mayuzumi over there. A pleasure. Nice to meet you, sir. Though I suppose we needn't really introduce ourselves to you. I'm sure you already know all about the three of us. I know some, yeah. But isn't it polite to start with a general introduction? I don't want to be rude to the fellows taking such good care of my brother. Ichiya sat stiffly in his seat, obviously conflicted. Kazuya relaxed like he was in his own living room. Twins, huh? Now he just squinted and glanced between the two of them like he'd never seen twins before. You do look an awful lot like Ichiya, yeah? Indeed, especially in the eyes. Put him in the same outfit with the same hair and it'd be real hard to tell them apart, that's for sure. Would you please stop analyzing them? It's rude. I don't mind. It's something all identical twins have to put up with, I guess. We're used to being stared at, right, Ichiya? Yeah, pretty much. I always hated every time someone would mistake me for you. I know. That's why you try so hard to be different from me. Wearing different styles, getting a wavy perm, even deliberately speaking differently than I do. Oh, shut up! Out of everyone, Ichiya is definitely being the most prickly towards him. By the way, I know this is awfully late, but do you mind if the three of them join us for this? Not at all. I called this marriage interview just for convenience. It's a handy term to refer to our little get-together today. But if we actually did turn it into a formal interview, you'd be left in a very uncomfortable corner, correct? Ah, I see. I instantly understood what Kazu meant. The Tojo family and the Shinzaki group were a very large, influential business. If their heirs mash the A button again. If their heirs held a formal marriage interview, it would garner a lot of attention from a lot of people. And once that happened, there was only one possible outcome for both families: engagement. Anything else would mean trouble for one or both sides. Because there was no engagement, that would mean that one of the families had been deemed unworthy. The side that had been turned down would lose face, and losing face meant losing business. He mentioned that as insurance, in case I planned on forcibly turning down his suit here and now. If I did that, it would cause a considerable profit loss simply for my own personal reasons. My relatives would start questioning my sincerity, too. So today, I'm just here to visit my brother. Nothing more. I don't think he wants to visit you. You don't have to be that anxious, really. Aha! Thus his casual dress. He came here as Kazu for a specific reason. It's like, is anyone watching? I mean, he sent a thing for a marriage interview. It's like, do we have, spies in the house? I mean, it was only a casual thing, I swear. He'd taken my own circumstances into consideration before coming, as well as his own, at least to a degree. Grandfather's opinion was right. He isn't the sort of person who's driven solely by greed. But I still wasn't in a position to make any decisions. If you didn't come here for a marriage interview, then why on earth did you ask for this meeting? I'd like to say it should be obvious, but maybe it isn't that clear for everyone who's present. Today, I'd like to tell you the truth about what happened from the horse's mouth, so to speak. I get the impression there are a few misunderstandings. You wanted to hear this for a while now, correct? Yes. And there's one other thing, too. I thought this would be a good opportunity to throw the gauntlet down to your other three suitors, too. My, right in our faces. Now we see the real you. Yep, there it is. You're coming across as a jerk. Kazu's declaration, which he made with a gentle smile, ratcheted up the tension in the room. Kazuya. Ichiya spoke up, contempt in his voice, but what's the point on putting on appearances? Wouldn't that come across as being fake? Besides, why do I have to care of being nice to rivals? Kazu was completely unfazed, his expression cool and unconcerned. This is a face that Kazu never would have made. It was such a startling difference from what I was used to seeing that it threw me for a loop. He'd been so kind and gentle with me, but he was throwing around barbed statements without a care in the world for who was listening. I had to see both sides of him. He doesn't hold back, whether he's being kind or cold. That's what makes it so difficult to get a grasp on what he's really like. It's like Kasuga and Grandfather. He's a very difficult person to handle, just in a different way. The issue was that I still didn't know enough about him that I could say for certain that he was a good person, or just acting. I would need to know the answer to a certain question before I can make that determination. Kazu, tell me something. The day you met me in Omotesando, was that all staged? Did you arrange for that man to harass me, so that you could swoop in to my rescue? No, I didn't. Jeez. Do you seriously regard me as some kind of cheap manga villain? I mean, yes. Anyway, the day we first met was entirely coincidence. I promise you that, Hibari. I don't know if we can trust that promise. We heard about what happened. That kind of old school street harassment isn't something that happens much anymore. True. When I saw it, I was like, really? Too. But I said I didn't set it up, and I mean it. Yes, I did want to find some way to have a personal conversation with the Tojo family heir, but I don't have the kind of free time that let me trail her around town and watch every breath she takes. I mean, you have resources, right? Like, Kazuya seems to be able to follow Hibari around and get info when he's not even there. Huh? Why not? Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day, if you really wanted to. Nayata, I'd assume that's because he has a job. Oh, Nayata's thinking like, of course you can follow her around. Like, we can do whatever you want. I was like, no, like, he would hire someone else to, like, pinpoint her location. Oh, right. We're all unemployed. I forgot. You dumb. You big old dum-dum. Nayata, do your bro a favor and shut up for a while, would ya? I know. Making you guys look great in front of the guy. Yes, please. I'd gone to do a little shopping that day, and just so happened to be walking by when it happened. So you stepped in because she's a Tojo family heir? Your words are a bit biting, aren't they? But I can't deny it. I'm not some superhero, and I don't try to be one. If it had been someone I didn't know, I might have kept walking. But it was cute girl. It was actually weirdly refreshing to hear him say that with such brutal honesty. Plus, his blunt replies made it seem more and more unlikely that he was lying. Alright, I will believe that. There's an answer to one question I had. Though looking back, it was an obvious one. If he wanted to deliberately approach me without letting on who he was, there were a dozen easier ways to do it. But, I mean, he wanted to get your confidence, right? Wait, why am I feeling relieved? Oh, one thing. I had a question about that day, too. Why in the world were you there of all places, entirely by yourself? Yeah, this happened so far away, so long ago. Did we, like, leave the house or something? Well, I really didn't want to tell him. I couldn't. Not that I gotten caught up in the fun of walking by myself and wound up lost. I think I was probably more shocked to see you there than you were. I remember doing a double take, thinking you couldn't seriously be who I thought you were. I know it's none of my business, but I really had to wonder at who let you do that. Don't you have an escort or a bodyguard when you go out? I don't think I'm so important that I really require a bodyguard. I mean, Tojo family heir. I must agree with him in this one matter, at least. Kazuya returned from the kitchen carrying a tea service. You are lacking a certain necessary sense of caution, Miss Hibari. I highly suggest you keep your station in mind when you act. Yeah, Kazuya's right. You really should take someone along with you when you go anywhere. Someone strong like me. You're not the bodyguard in this route, Nayata. I'm sorry. There's no winning this particular argument anymore. Not against three of them. I can only apologize. Anyway, back on topic. Does that clear things up a little? I hope so. Now, on to throwing down the gauntlet. The chill in Kazu's voice made me straighten in my seat almost reflexively. He noticed too, and seemed amused. After a moment, he turned to look over at Taiga, Shion, and Nayata. I'm sure you know this already, but I've heard about all three of you from Hibari. In fact, I know what she thinks about each of you. You don't know that much. With that information at hand, I made a decision. That'd be no trouble for you to swoop in and whisk her away from us. That's one way of putting it, I guess. I get the impression you don't like me very much. But, well, yeah, that's basically it. To be brutally honest, even though I'm coming in so late in the game, I'm fully confident that Hibari's engagement is mine to take or leave however I want. Especially if Ichiya is the dog at the head of the pack. Oh no, I'm making twist the knife at Ichiya, Jesus. Kazu's barb needled directly into Ichiya, but Ichiya didn't bother to respond. Thinking on it, he had only barely taken part in this entire conversation, despite his own twin being the center of everything. In fact, he'd barely even focused his eyes to look at anything except the walls or his shoes. Instead, it was Taiga who bared his teeth at Kazu's challenge. You know your brother and his tactics inside and out, so you think beating him will be cake, huh? That's part of it, yeah. We're family after all. But that's not the only reason. We're twins, right? Makes it pretty easy to compare us and determine who's more fit to be the husband of the Tojo family heir. Okay, that was going a step too far. I mean, we're only looking at business acumen here. He'd effectively dismissed his own brother out of hand with that statement. I simply couldn't let it slide. Excuse me? I opened my mouth to argue, but I didn't have a chance to say more than 2 words before I was cut off. That's enough. Shion's voice was sharper and colder than I'd ever heard it before. I don't dislike people who speak frankly, but I think you've said quite enough. I'm not so callous that I'll sit idly by as an acquaintance of mine is insulted like that. Shion's got a point. The man's your own brother. How can you say that about him? What, do you think because you're a bit older you get to lord it over him or something? Yeah, he's right. Ichi may not look like much, but he's actually a really awesome person. Oh, how so? Huh? If he's really as awesome as you say, what makes him so great? Tell me. Oh no, no. Well, Nice is not exactly eloquent with that. Okay, let's see, he's aha! He's a really good cook. Everything he makes is super duper delicious, though I wouldn't mind if he made more of it sometimes. That's it, now you tell him! Huh? Okay, he's nice. Like, really nice. He even gave me some of the leftover cookies he baked. Naito would be anyone's friend if you gave him food. And... He's quite adept at speaking Japanese. Sometimes he'll use words I've never even heard of to flirt with Hibari. No. He's normal for a Japanese guy. And the weird words aren't because he's not right in the head. Doesn't anyone have better things they can say? Come on. Okay, the weird words are because he's not right in the head. Taiga, you just insulted him. Making him building up really nicely, guys. If this conversation accomplished one thing, it was utterly killing my will to push back against Kazu. Is it me, or has this quickly devolved into the usual meandering nonsense these fours always freak into? Were they even saying anything to answer Kazu's question satisfactorily? Hey, if you're gonna just keep shooting down all my compliments, you come up with one. How come you keep asking me? Oh, hey Ichiya, you got anything? Taiga, come on! Would you not dump this on me, please? Ah, jeez, you guys are cruel. We lived together for ages. Surely you can think of something by now. Sorry, bro, but I like to stay honest with myself. Sometimes even a little white lie can be harmful. Right? And the last thing we want is for you to lock yourself up in your room again and refuse to cook dinner for us again. Well, this brutal honesty is doing a damn good job of hurting me anyway. I feel like I could cry. And Nayato, seriously? Am I nothing more than a fancy vending machine to you? Oh great, this has definitely devolved into the usual chaos now. How on earth was I supposed to wrangle this mess back under control? My head started to pound when... All of a sudden, someone broke out in laughter. It took me a moment to realize it was Kazu. Sorry, I just can't. Trying to hold it in, but Ichiya's shout there at the end just killed me. Hey. Kazu? Sorry, it was just so funny. Apparently, Kazu was having trouble getting all the giggles out of his system. He took a few deep breaths to compose himself, before turning to Ichiya with a smile. This is such a surprise. You've always had a problem with making male friends, Ichiya, but now look how close you all are. Close enough to insult each other. Ichiya looked away, seemingly conflicted. Kazu didn't appear concerned. He turned a smile over to Taiga and the others. I can hardly believe you're rivals. If you're such good friends with Ichiya regardless, I'm sure you're all decent people. I think I'm feeling a little left out now. Maybe I ought to move in here too. Oh no, no! What? That's not even funny, Kazuya. I know, I just threw it out there for curiosity's sake. I have my job to focus on after all. Living here while managing everything would, unfortunately, be difficult. You seem awfully confident in yourself. I think us living together with her puts us at an obvious advantage. Yeah, working hard at your job is all well and good, but are you sure you'll have time to treat her well? No, she had already tried that. It was hard on Hibari, working all the time. Or do you think that unemployed schlubs like us are just pushovers, and you can outdo us romantically in your spare time alone? Hey, don't underestimate us just because we're unemployed. Oh, I'd never do that. Whatever the world may say about you, you still managed to earn the approval of the Tojo family head. If I take you lightly, I'll be soundly defeated. I'd like to think I'm not stupid enough to underestimate my competition. Heh, so you do get it. Well, what's your plan then, eh? The plan? It's simple enough. I'll do the same as all of you, fair and square. Fair and square? What else can I do? This is a decision that will have a bigger impact than almost anything in our lives. It deserves careful consideration. It wasn't my intent to use such forceful methods in order to make your acquaintance, but unfortunately that's how it went down. I don't mean to let that happen again. In other words, I'm going to invite you on dates, just like anyone else. I'm gonna make you fall in love with me. You've got nothing against that, right? Okay. Oh god, this is gonna be weird. We're going on dates with Kazu at the same time as his brother. He was right. I couldn't say anything against that. It would have been easier if he did try something underhanded. I would have had reason to turn him down. Still, he He must have quite a bit of confidence in himself to say that with a straight face. While I was thinking on his words, Kazu continued to grab control over the conversation and steer it in the direction he wanted. But as you astutely pointed out, the current situation puts me at a notable disadvantage. I've unfortunately left a bad impression on Hibari, and I haven't had the opportunity to spend as much time with her as the rest of you. So I'd like to propose a condition to level the playing field, so to speak. And that condition is... It's simple, really. Whenever I ask Hibari off on a date, I'd like the rest of you to do nothing to interfere with it. Like they do with everyone else. Usually Hibari turns them down, is like, nope, tired. I only have so much time I can dedicate to this. Without a major handicap, I'm not sure we can call this arrangement fair, can you? Taiga, Shion, and Nayata looked at each other. If we're being offered this much of a concession, it would reflect poorly on us if we chased him out. Point. I think I could let you get away with that much. This is all kind of complicated and I don't really get it, but if you guys are okay with it. And you, Ichiya, do you agree? What's it matter? We already decided this is how it's going to happen. I could practically see the white flag fluttering over Ichiya's head. He had given up entirely. Then I say we'd have a deal. So, it looks like that's how it'll go, Hibari. I hate to be pushy, but do you mind if we go ahead and schedule our first date? What? Already? I already started around the room, but none of my suitors spoke up. Their deal with Kazu already hamstrung their retorts. Ichiya, you gotta fight! You gotta fight back! And Ichiya didn't even attempt to look in my direction. Well, I was hoping for an opportunity to have a proper discussion with Kazu in private. Alright. Great, thanks. As soon as a slot in my schedule is cleared, I'll get in touch with your butler. Scheduling it like a meeting. I shall await your call, sir. Excellent. Well, that's all I needed to accomplish here, so I think I'll call it a day. Oh, and you don't need to see me out. That's okay. Kazu stood and gave a quick wave and then turned to walk out of the room. But then he paused and turned around. Oh, before I go, let me say thank you. Thank you all for accepting the condition I made. Well, wait, let me phrase that in a different way. I'm not going to let any of you show me up. Let's throw ourselves into this and make it a battle worth fighting. With a brilliant grin, Kazu turned around and left for good. It was, in all, quite an imposing exit. I admit I grudgingly respected him for it. But... Whoa. Hold on a damn minute. He just appointed himself the 5th suitor, didn't he? Not only that, he made it seem like we gave him a stamp of approval, too. Holy crap, you're right. Wait, didn't we agree we were gonna yell no and kick him right out? I'm afraid hindsight is 20/20. He's a much more cunning negotiator than we expected. Honestly, I think that may be the first time in my life that someone dared to make me dance to their tune. Kazu controlled that discussion from beginning to end. He even took advantage of the confused bickering between the 4 of them to steer the topic right where he wanted it. It was impressive. There's no other way to describe it. I underestimated him. Tsumugi and Aramura even warned me, but I didn't see anything wrong with just talking to him. And now, here we are. Now we got a 5th guy on you. Now I had 5 suitors instead of 4. I handed Kazu precisely the opportunity he needed, and he used it to slide into the contest with ease. That how it ends? Oh no. Told you. He's invincible. Alright, fifth suitor cleared. Poor Ichiya. He's gonna have to ban up. Alright, got a whiz message. He's gonna have to fight for the girl. Alright, that was from Kazuya. It was a pleasure. I like how he still has... That's his profile pic. I guess Arabora also has, like, one picture versus the other. It was a pleasure. I'm glad we were able to have a productive discussion today. I'd like to say thank you for accepting me as one of your suitors. Honestly, it doesn't feel real yet. Not surprising. I'll do my best to help it sink in on our next date. By the way, how's Ichiya? He's been gloomy ever since you went home. He went straight to his room right after dinner. He hasn't changed a bit. Though with him like that, my chances of winning will only go up. I wouldn't say that yet. Gotta consider, like, Hibari's inclinations. She might like the sensitive man. Let's both hope so, okay? Anyway, I'm looking forward to the next time we get to hang out. See you then! Alright, that was cordial. Alright, we do need a little break. We'll probably get through these little tiny chapters here. We got the big bucks after that. Alrighty. Take a little breaky break. So weird. Having like another guy just slot himself in. It gives less attention to Ichiya, but I guess this is like a hurdle he has to clear. Alrighty, let's save. Okie doke. Alrighty, hope you guys are having a fun underboxing time, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.